Ball away. Backwards, play on, play on. Ball away. Backwards, play on, play on. Ball away. Backwards, play on, play on.
Surely wonderful. Remember, it's part of the culture, it's part of the heritage, it's part of the national psyche, and here are the 15 men that will represent all those values for Wales today. Evans, Owens and Francis in the front row, Beard and Alan Wynne-Jones in the second row, Navadi, Moriarty and Tupirak, a very capable back row. Davis and Anscombe, the half-back partners, Hadley Parks and Jonathan Davis, so much on them today, but particularly on the back three of Adams, Williams and North, both going forward and in defence, and particularly under the high ball, they will be under the microscope. And here's the Irish side that will face them: Healy, Best and Furlong, a combative and strong front row. Tyke Byrne comes in to win his first Six Nations start alongside the young but unquestionably talented James Ryan in the second row. Murray and Sexton. Sexton, the World Player of the Year last year. Aki and Ringrose in the midfield. Stockdale and Earls either side of Rob Carney, who wins his 90th cap today. And he played here in the Grand Slam winning side of Ireland back in 2009, 10 years ago. The replacements were both sides. should they be required, they will be required, and they will have an impact. Alongside me, well, a man who's been in the white-hot atmosphere of this great championship a couple of years ago now, but nonetheless, Dowie Morris, former England scrum half. Your thoughts on this one?
Just delighted to be an incredible atmosphere. I've been a couple of times, but this beats it all. I mean, talking at the rugby writers, this is Warren Gatland before the tournament. Warren Gatland predicted that if we beat France away, we will win the Grand Slam. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're about to see if his prophecy comes true. And as far as Ireland wanted the roof open. Well, the rationale behind that will have come from the players. I feel the kicking game will again be to the fore from Sexton and, more importantly, Murray. And the Irish forwards will look to put pressure on what is not a very good Welsh line-out.
There's the referee, Angus Gardner.
Rory.
And we're off and running at the Principality Stadium. It's Wales in search of a Grand Slam. Ireland still have an opportunity to win this championship, but they've got to win against Wales first and then hope that Scotland do them a favour a little bit later on by beating England. But all that waits. There are lots of permutations and possibilities. What is for sure is if Wales win today, they will be the champions and the Grand Slam champions at that. And they have this opening opportunity of a platform of the line-out, a line-out that hasn't fired particularly well for them in this championship so far. And they go to that man, Alan Wynne-Jones, and they go to the maul, and Ireland into defensive duty from the beginning. But Wales, well, the passion will be at boiling point. It'll be about having fire in the belly and ice in the veins for them today as they break away. And they pile in, and O'Mahony tries to rescue for Ireland, but the ball is there for Alan Wynne-Jones, and Wales go about their job. Here's a real opportunity for Anscombe to kick over the top, and Hadley Parks is after it, and Wales have hit the front. What a start! What a start for Wales!
Absolutely incredible. The fantastic kick-off from Anscombe initially, put pressure on Stockdale, who was one up for George North in the corner. They won the line out. Alan Wynne-Jones, the captain, going up, and then he just gets moved a couple of times. A beautiful little chip over the top from Gareth Anscombe, and that guy, the warrior there, Hadley Parker, who is so good at defence, so good at running that defensive line, has just come up with the first try of the game, in a minute and a half. That is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful from a Wales point of view.
Well, fairy tales are made of starts like this from Wales' perspective, and in the end it was simplicity itself. Just a lovely little dink from Anscombe, who read Ireland's defensive position, and it fell into Hadley Parks' arms, and all he needed to do was fall over the line. Conversion to come for Gareth Anscombe, 53 points in his international career. Conversion attempt that is straightforward for him. Up go the flags, and what a start for Wales. And Dowie, they've taken a play out of how England played against Ireland.
That's exactly what I was going to say. England turned, and we did our first game to win in round one, and there was a hush around the Aviva Stadium, because this is almost how England started against Ireland. Hadley Parks, take a bow. That is just beautiful. But Anscombe off the outside of his right foot. He was initially the first kick of the game, put pressure on Wales. What a start. We talked about whether the game would live up to what we hoped, and it certainly has. Unbelievable stuff.
Started that way, and Ireland up against it from the very beginning, but they are an experienced side, the world-ranked number 2 side. A perch that they'll be knocked off today. If Wales win, they will become the world number 2 side, behind New Zealand, of course. Conor Murray and Sexton and James Ryan go about setting Ireland on their way. Their first opportunity to get their hands on the ball. They've had to restart from a try conceded before they've even got into the game. Sean O'Brien, Ireland's open side flanger, wearing number 7, was dropped from the squad last week, but back in because of the injury to Josh van der Fleer. Hasn't been 100%. We'll see more from him. Rob Kearney Ireland's experienced fullback gets them up to the Welsh 22. Conor Murray.
Play on.
The referee says play on,
Backwards.
and Tyg Byrne knocks the ball backwards. It's scooped up by Cian Healy, and the tackle's made by Josh Adams. Murray, Sexton, you can barely hear yourself speak in the stadium. Roof is open and the atmosphere absolutely magnificent. The conditions wet and difficult for ball handling, but the players so far have done admirably with that. Here's Ringrose. Back on the line comes Carney. Navidi makes the tackle, and Ireland back up to the 22 again. Healy knocks it forward, and that's the conditions and the pressure. Knocked that ball forward, and Ireland, well, they've thrown their first attacking weapon and they've come away with nothing. The ball turned over from this knock on, and we'll have the first scrum of the afternoon, and the put-in will be to Wales.
It will, but you've got to just admire the Welsh defence. As they were at Murrayfield, they weren't at the races really as far as how clinical they can be and have been. They just put those tackles in, they get themselves off the floor. They've got a tremendous defensive setup. Obviously that's from Sean Edwards. And the percentage of tackles made throughout the tournament is 90%. Ireland very close at 89%, with Farrell, 2 Wiganers, 2 rugby league lads running the defensive lines.
And the 2 defensive coaches that are the most sought after and the most highly thought of in the game at the moment. Andy Farrell for Ireland, of course, will be the next head coach of Ireland. Sean Edwards of Wales. And you look at that subplot, and then you look at the subplot of the 2 head coaches, both playing in their final 6 Nations games, and if the barometer of success is leaving your country in a better nick than you found it, well, both have done that. Ireland have turned it over.
Advantage, thank you.
Advantage being played. Conor Murray will find James Ryan. Little
knock on.
Scoop around the back, and here's Ringrose, and he pops it up, and a big arm comes in from Beard, and they've turned it over, and then they kick it downfield, and Earls will be under all sorts of pressure here. Goes to ground, shows all his experience to gather the ball, get back on his feet, despite the attempts of Adams, and the referee shrill blast of the whistle.
It was accidental. Josh Adams there, he slides in and he just catches Earls. Nothing malicious, nothing more than a penalty. He was looking at the touch judge. He thought he maybe get away with it. He hasn't. Look, he slid in.
It's a foot trip, and he's raised the foot.
Absolutely. Look, there's nothing in it. There's not, you know, it isn't intended.
Sexton's gone cross-field. Sexton goes cross-field, and Stockdale's away. Jacob Stockdale, hauled down, spills the ball. You cannot take your eyes off this game for a moment.
I'll have to watch when I come in. You're absolutely right. I think it's Hadley Parks again. The Bandy's warrior over there already scored a try, and he saved one. Saved one for Wales.
He did indeed, because it looked like Stockdale was away. He pushes Davis away, and then Hadley Parks throws himself at Ireland's big winger and drags him down.
Absolutely brilliant. The whole crowd is seeing this on the 2 big screens we've got here and applauding, because Stockdale is as quick as you like. He scored tries for obviously Ulster and Ireland, and you would think once he's past Gareth Davis, he is there to the line. And Hadley Parks, the adopted Welshman, the Kiwi, in a sense, has just brought him down.
Well, that was really quick thinking from Jonathan Sexton and Ireland, and executed beautifully as well. Crossfield kick, he had to pick his man out from, 60 yards, and found him, and Stockdale away. What a tackle from Hadley Parks. Jacob Stockdale, of course, player of the championship last year. He scored 14 tries in his 18 international caps at his some return, and he must have thought he was away.
Mate, that is some tackle. That is absolutely textbook. He didn't go too early. He just waited to just get up. And you think with Stockdale's pace, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone in the left-hand corner. Fair dues. This is some game. We thought it would be. We prayed it would be, and it's certainly living up to it.
Crouch! Bind!
Referee not happy with the scrums.
Yep.
Well, actually, going back a bit, a couple of 3 minutes, all this sort of excitement started from a scrum when Gareth Davis tried to go up the blind side and got smacked in. That ball came loose, and then Ireland knocked it on. And we ended up with Earls getting it down there, and then the crossfield kick. Wow. Absolutely superb stuff.
Crouch!
Well, we were expecting structure and we were expecting game plans, but it feels like both sides have said we're going to play. and we're going to play as we see it in front of us. Gareth Davis feeds the Welsh scrum, and the Welsh scrum
3 on the knee.
gets a penalty. 3 on the knee against Ireland. Tadhg Furlong, the man who's penalised. If you put
Number
your
3,
knee or
on the
indeed a
ground.
hand on the floor as a front rower, you're going to get penalised once those scrum front rows engage.
Hit scrum up.
George North, now there is a big blow for Wales, if that is as it seems. George North making his way from the pitch, and it will mean that Owen Watkin will come in. George North, so experienced, so important to Wales in both attack and defence, but he is gone.
Well, all I can think about, right, is
It's actually bigger. It's Dan Biggar who's
well,
coming in.
look, he's the playmaker. He can actually go and people can move around him. It looks like Anscombe's got back to 15. He has. I think that's a positive, a much positive, because we all know what Dan Biggar can do when sides are slightly struggling. This is a needs must, because I think North must have got injured from that first kick-off from when he put some pressure on Stockdale.
Ireland stood off that defensive maul and then engaged, and
And the side
Wales
advantage.
continue to go forward and get the advantage for Ireland coming into the side. You must go in from behind the back foot, and Ireland didn't do that, and
From
they
the
give the
side.
penalty away.
The penalties are ratcheting up now
Alan
for
Wynne-Jones
Ireland.
in real trouble as well for Wales. Well, whatever about losing George North, losing Alan Wynne-Jones for Wales would be a seismic loss at this point. Watch the way Ireland defended this lineup. They didn't engage, which allowed them to bring the man around the front to compete.
Absolutely.
But still Wales dealt with it.
They do it, and just watch Alan Wynne-Jones, his leg, he just
So-
gets pushed. They're going
Yeah,
forward,
so
then he
Rory,
gets
the
a
first guy was fine
hopefully-
because they transferred it. But then
it's a
once
bit of
the
a
ball's
sumo
formed,
role
the
from
same laws
Cian
apply to
Healy.
the
He's
ball,
allowed
so
to
one
be there,
can't
there's no
be
problem.
coming
Then he's just
inside.
obviously the power going one way, and then you get ripped going backwards, and he's in a little bit of pain. But
Well, I thought they were both on it for me. Yeah. So do you understand?
what has he got?
Coming round?
134 caps with his Lions as well. So I think he equals Gethin Jenkins' record today. And he's just, I use the word warrior, but leader.
Well, you talk about the great second row of the world game in the last 20 years, and you think of Martin Johnson, you think of Victor Matfield, you think of Paul O'Connell, and Alan Wynne-Jones is rightly held in that regard, in that sort of company.
And it's his influence with the referees as well, because again, he likes to play we saw Parise, didn't we, just the game before. He's always in the referee's ear, he's always the focal point. He's actually up talking all the time to try and get that 50-50 decision going Wales' way. And this is
This
this
where
toss-
George
yeah.
North
They were both on it. Yeah. Didn't even
knocked his left hand, and it must have been a dislocation. The good news, it's a wrist dislocation, I think.
Well, he isn't coming back on, that is for sure, if that's dislocated. No. Alan Wynne,
You
for
okay
all Welsh
there?
supporters, rugby supporters actually, seems okay. He was just having a break.
A significant delay for
Tom
the
on.
last couple of minutes, as Alan Wynne-Jones is restored to something like full health, and there's a huge sigh of relief around the Principality Stadium, and Biggar into the game for North. Anscombe goes to full-back, Biggar the playmaker at outside half, and into the Irish 22 Wales go again.
And this is the line-out stats. Again, I just worked my own out. Wales have got a success rate of 74%, Ireland well over 91, 92.
Alan Wynne-Jones leaps in the air, and around the corner comes Liam Williams, who was at the front of that line out for Wales. And Hadley Parks crashes up, and Ireland's defence holds firm on this
No
occasion.
turn.
Davis will dig it out, and then it goes to Rob Evans. And Wales are punching holes around the fringes when they carry like this. Tapuric sets it up again. Davis will go to Dan Biggar, and Biggar sees a little gap which is shut tight by Gary Ringrose tackle. And then Wales go once more, and they'll be looking for fast ball, and Tapuric offers himself, and it's skipped, and it's Navidi who
Well done,
carries.
three.
Davis
Well done.
once more, and now Ken Owens. 64 international caps of experience. The ball though slips loose. Wales still have it. Ball there for scrum half. Davis and Alan Wynne-Jones again, and Ireland go low and make the tackle. Wales, what, 6 metres
Stand
short
last
now
foot.
of the Irish line, taken on by Tom Francis, but he's stopped cold. Ireland put the big men around the fringes, who continue to make the tackles. Crowd on their feet once again. It's straight up strength that Wales are looking to break that Irish defensive line. Davis again. Navidi. James Ryan makes the tackle. Davis. Anscombe. And Jonathan Davis. Bundyaki in to try and slow the ball down.
Stay on!
16 phases Wales have gone through. Defence for Ireland, rock solid, and Tyke Byrne is the man.
Onside.
Who swoops over and gathers the ball. And that, well, there are so many battles in this game. Psychologically, that's one for Ireland.
Well, that's one that Welsh players, management, whatever, should know about. This boy was outstanding for the Scarlets for 2 years. And outstanding because he does this. He jackals almost like a 7. He was the turnover king as far as the Scarlets were concerned. And he knows exactly where Wales are coming and probably their weakness, and that's why he's in the team. Henderson got an injury, but he was brought in to do that job. May not be the biggest. You've got Roux on the bench to do that if things aren't going right, but I tell you what, worth his weight in gold there, mate.
Yeah, he's caught halfway between a second row and a back row, but he's doing a terrific job in his first Six Nations start. Wales lose the line out. Murray for Best. Navidi and Topurik make the tackle, and Rory Best has nowhere to go. But around the neck, says the referee, against Josh Navidi, and it's a cheap penalty to give away, and Ireland will have an easy exit.
And it's like momentum, isn't it? You've got a turnover, you go to the line out. Bad throw in the line out, that's 2 mistakes. Then a penalty from a neck roll, there's 3. So 1, 2, 3, all of a sudden now, Ireland are going to exit from the 22, past the halfway, and pressure is released.
Sexton down the line, gets a good distance on that kick. Not much in the way of wind in this stadium. Yes, the rain is falling, but the conditions in terms of having to deal with a breeze as well, not significant. So the kickers and indeed the hookers throwing into the line out will be thankful for that.
Well, there was a lot of talk about the roof being open, roof being closed. It doesn't matter. I think the Irish players decided, possibly, they said, right, OK, it's the same for each of us, and same for the opposition side. If they want it closed, we'll have it open. We'll just to annoy them a bit more. The forecast was about 3 o'clock for it to come in. It is drizzling down there, but it hasn't had that torrential rain that was forecast, and I hope it stays away, because we've had a cracking 13, 14 first minutes.
Don't encroach on their gap. Yeah, thank you.
Referee very clear with both sets of forwards that he doesn't want the gap in the line out closed. Rory Best to a shortened Irish line out, and up goes Tyke Byrne.
5 down the middle.
Well,
number
5 for Ireland is James Ryan, and you cannot go down the middle of the line out. If you're going to move in the line out, you have to go out wide and come down your side and back into the line out. But he went down the middle. The referee had spoken before the game and during the game.
Changing down the middle of the line out, number 5.
Middle of the line out, and Ireland guilty of a cheap turnover. Keith Earls, solid, rock solid under the high ball that was rained down on him. But Wales commit numbers to that breakdown. Ireland, though, rescue the situation. Tyke Byrne to Sexton and James Ryan, and the big second row, just 22 years of age, takes it on. Conor Murray screaming at the Welsh players to get their hands off the ball.
No.
Murray once more. Sexton. This one is a tester for Liam Williams, and Williams, or is it Anscombe? Anscombe indeed.
Leave it 14.
Who gathers the ball. Taken on by Rob Evans. 2
Watch the guys in front, guys. Hold. No.
Catchers on a dirty day. Stockdale, the latest to be asked and to pass the test. And Ireland have the ball on their own 10-metre line, but penalty against them.
2 grandmaster chess players out there. They're just moving their pawns around, just mixing things up. Bigger doesn't go into touch. He just puts the ball up. The old Gary Owen. Equally, it goes back to Sexton the first time he puts the ball up. It's just great, just to watch. And I think there might be a bit of targeting going on with Stockdale, because for all his fantastic rap that he comes in, he is a superb player. He leads
Just
the top of the
here on the
turnovers
fly.
conceded by 9. Yep. That means losing the ball in contact to go in there. Possibly, he's a big lad, but possibly not the best. Going forward, he's sensational, but possibly a weakness. So there again, Warren Gatland, Sean Edwards and the boys
What are
will
we
say,
doing,
right,
Alan?
let's put it up the air.
Alan.
Let's put Liam Williams against him, and let's see what he can do.
Poles.
A little bit of a conversation between the brains trust of the Welsh team as to what to do on this occasion. Would they kick for the corner and go for a line out and try and look for a second try, or would they take on this kick at goal? And the kick at goal is the decision, and it'll be Gareth Anscombe who will line it up.
Well, Wyn Jones would have gone straight to Anscombe. Is this on your... Can you do this? He says, yeah, I'll have a go. It's on his edge of his range, I would think. But
the
again,
rain is falling much heavier than it was at kickoff. 17 minutes on the clock passes by. On its way, crowd are getting excited, and why wouldn't they? Terrific kick. Anscombe lands one from wide out, and Wales, after 17 and a half minutes, have a 10-point lead, and they're beginning to get a sense of something special in the Principality.
Nice little 3-iron there, he didn't need his driver. Absolutely educated boot, no problem at all. He didn't overkick it. His non-kicking leg got the purchase, and he just swung through it. Absolutely beautiful. 10-0.
It's a bit early to be saying this, but Ireland, you feel, must score next. Rob Kearney.
Let him run!
With the
good
chip and chase. Anscombe did really well.
Step back.
It's the second time he's come from deep to claim a ball that was asking questions of him. Ireland hit that defensive line very strongly, but again the infringement. Now Ireland have given away a number of penalties here, which is
straight to the side.
Just against the way they normally play. This time the man that's pinged is Tadhg Byrne for giving away the penalty.
Well, normally they're so brilliant at not giving away penalties. England lead the list of just 24 conceded up until this round. Then you've got Ireland on 26. That's 26 over 4 games, Wales on 30. So they're giving about 6.5 penalties away. But I reckon, how many's that now? If I look at my machine, penalties conceded, already Ireland got 3. And that's pressure. Yeah. And for those that are not worrying, whatever, Liam Williams has gone to the right wing. Obviously, Anscombe has gone to full-back, and Bigger has just stepped in at 10. So that's the reshuffle with George North going off the field.
9-10. That's good.
Here's Ken Owens and the Welsh line-out, and Peter O'Mahony gets himself in the air, but Wales have won the ball again. Great line taken by Navadi. Bigger and Jonathan Davis. Aki makes the tackle. Topuria goes in to secure possession for Wales, and it's there for Davis. Bigger again. Cross from his wing comes Josh Adams. Ireland almost offside. Referee says it wasn't almost, it was offside. So it's a free run, advantage of the penalty, and Bundy Aki does well to secure possession for Ireland as Wales went to that little kick over the top, and there's a bit of afters, and this one's boiling over.
You don't say, Ryle.
No.
Hadley Parks and Rob Kearney both look a little shaken out there. Both on the ground, both receiving attention as you see the referee's eye view of what's unfolded in front of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's all right, I got it.
Gareth Davis is at the bottom of that, enjoying himself. The atmosphere, the noise is...
Number 9.
Unbelievable.
Number 9.
Number 9,
Stop.
the referee is looking for number 9, who's Gareth Davis. Let's see if we can see what
Number 9 and captain.
had everybody a little bit angry. There's the collision between Hadley Parks and Rob Kearney. Nothing in that, but it's what happened afterwards.
Number 5. Number 5, come here.
Well, that's silly, really, because he's gone on the man.
Yeah,
I've
got it, mate. He's dived on the player on the ground after the whistle's gone, yeah?
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah.
So you guys had the penalty advantage, and then this number 9's dived on the player after the whistle. So I'm reversing the penalty because you started all that, okay? No more.
Angus Gardner clear and reverses the penalty. And the crowd may boo, but I think he's called that absolutely right, Dowie.
There's nothing else that he could do. You're not allowed to do that. Again, it wasn't dirty, it wasn't malicious, there was no nastiness in it. It's just your adrenaline's coursing through your body. And everyone else is going to go, Bundiaki's going to make something of it because he knows he's got a penalty. You just can't do that. See, there's nothing in it. And Wales have just lost a little bit of momentum. Sometimes you just got to keep a lid on it, and Gareth Davies will know that.
Kick from the boot of Jonathan Sexton is a decent one, and it brings play inside the Welsh half. There is Gareth Davies, 41st international cap now for the 28-year-old.
And it's interesting, Gareth Davies as a licence, as a 9, as a scrum half from Sean Edwards, the way he runs his defensive patterns to basically do what he wants. He can come around the frontal line out, go around the back, put pressure on the 9, put pressure on the 10. He's got a free rein.
Shortened line out for Ireland again, down from Peter O'Mahony. Not a great pass from Conor Murray to Jonathan Sexton, and it meant that the space was collapsed for Ringrose in the midfield. Sexton around the back, sees space in behind Adams. Across comes Anscombe, who did really well because that one bobbled badly for him, but he held on to it in greasy conditions, dispatches the kick, but advantage territorially at least to Ireland, up now to the Welsh 22 and a throw into the line out.
And that's Sexton's strength, isn't it? Seeing what to do, get the ball on the grass. He knows it's going to be slippy. Put Anscombe under a little bit of pressure. He knows the defence is going to be up there, but it's all about that build the pressure. But you're right, I think Ireland need a score. They need a penalty at least. Get some points on the board. First quarter gone. I wouldn't say Wales in charge. The emotion, I think, has put them in charge. Good. But this is best territory now. He's normally very, very good. Like I said, the line-out's running about 92%. And there again is another one.
And they take it at the front of the line-out and go to the maul. And Ireland's line-out has been the source of, well, over 50% of their tries in this championship so far. On this occasion, the maul has collapsed. It's an advantage to Ireland, so they have a free play at this. Conor Murray. Furlong shuffles it on to Sean O'Brien, but he's wrapped up really well. Bigger, the one to make the tackle. Up in the air it goes from Sexton, but that is going nowhere. Anscombe calls the mark, which he's entitled to do. Fair catch, but we'll come all the way back for the collapsed maul against Wales and a penalty to Ireland.
And this is the call from Best again. Does he go into the corner, or does he ask Sexton to get 3? Dan Biggar was limping away from there. I think they may fancy this into the corner. They're having a mother's meeting, the forwards. Yeah,
I didn't get a number, but there's about 3 of them on the ground.
Dan Biggar was the first definitely guy limping, and that left leg of his out of shot as Jonathan Sexton goes to the corner, and that shows ambition, if nothing else.
Well, I always say, if you show the ambition, you show the bravery in it, you've got to convert it now. Ireland's line-out, as you mentioned, it is very good. They launch a lot of things off it, but I think they may keep this tight initially. It's up to Wales. Do they jump? Do they jump? Do they compete? Do they get in quick and try and push Wales into touch? Here we go.
Up goes James Ryan, and Ireland has secured possession, and the body positions are set, and Wales repel the first effort.
No, he's legal, no problem.
Legal, says the referee of Adam Beard. But Ireland continue on. And Wales somehow snuff out the opportunity. Now, if Ireland don't produce the ball, which they haven't, then Wales have turned it over, and it's greeted like a try around the stadium, and all the backs in to slap the backs of the forwards, who did a terrific defensive job, and Sean Edwards somewhere in the stadium will have a wry smile, the defensive coach of Wales.
I think he will, without a doubt, but I think Robbie McBride may have something to do with this, because this is all about cohesion, this is all about knowing your roles, getting in there, speaking to the referee, coming through, I'm fine ref, I'm coming through the middle, and then dropping it. And once they drop it and that ball is laid up, doesn't matter if they're going forward, they're going to get the penalty. That's great defence from Wales, but they've shown it throughout the tournament. Not only in midfield, not only out wide, not only diffusing those English bombs when they came. It's things like that can change games. You know, they're just building this lead. 10-0, Ireland were desperate, and all of a sudden Joe Schmidt looks on. Stern faces in the box.
What about the second guy?
Yeah, look, mate, I didn't see the second guy, so...
Rory Best, the Irish captain, was having a word with the referee about what happened in that ball. But referee's made a decision, and on we go. The confidence in this Welsh side should not be underestimated. They've won their last 13 test matches on the bounce. Last time they were beaten was last year when Ireland beat them by 37 points to 27. And they just have a sense, when you think in game number 1 they trailed France by 16 points, and they find themselves, Warren Gatland and his side, on the cusp of a Grand Slam, leading by 10 points with 25 minutes gone in round 5.
The number 4, Adam Baird, hasn't been on a losing side yet, the second, who was so crucial to coming through that line-out.
I just want to square up so he can put his head in between your
chances. They were blown away against France in that first half. 16-0, I said they're not coming back from that, and they do. France did implode, they gave a few, it doesn't matter, you keep going. What has Warren Gatland said? They don't know how to lose this side. Well, it just builds confidence and things like that. You know, Ireland were going towards the line, they've dropped them. Now is a crucial scrum for Wales, but they'll be quite happy with this. This will go probably to bigger and boom, straight down. Well, Hadley Parks is standing his first receiver, so it might go one crash at first.
At the feet of Ross Moriarty wearing the number 8 shirt, and back it goes, and Wales, under pressure from Ireland, get the kick away through Adams. But Keith Earls has it and chooses to go straight when he might have gone wide.
Leave it!
Ball is there. Cian Healy will play scrum half. The prop forward picks and goes, and he's met by Francis on the gain line. CJ Stander carries for a yard. Ireland with a little bit of momentum. Sexton steps back inside and runs into a tackle from Alan Wynne-Jones. Murray desperately trying to dig it out, and eventually does so. CJ Stander carries again. Sean O'Brien on his shoulder. Furlong there also. Bundyaki puts the head down, almost away from the tackler, who was Navidi. Tyke Furlong and James Ryan.
No, balls.
Wales, well, Alan Wynne-Jones called on the wrong side, and I think the referee
guys, relax.
just felt that he couldn't get away, even if he wanted to.
Excuse me, you've already had... No, listen. Number 8, come here, please. Yeah. Just calm down.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm trying to help the player.
Understand that. Yeah. You've already had 1 penalty reversed against you for running in. I've clearly played an unplayable. Don't come in.
Well, the referee having pretty stern words with
the
Welsh number 8, Ross Moriarty.
Great possession from Wales, there's 63%. That's enough pressure. What territory they've been pushing Ireland back. Ross Moriarty knows exactly what he's doing. Alan Wynne knew exactly what he was doing. And you could just see it was that 7 phases. Ireland were a multi-phase side. They like to play at pace. They like to have the phases. They like to create some gaps in the midfield. And you can just see Conor Murray, look at that. As soon as that pen, they've got the pen, which is good, but actually they've lost the momentum. They've lost that ability just to stretch people. And that's where he was just, oh, no, okay. But now they have to start again.
So a scrum given on that occasion, because the ball was trapped in there and should have been back on the Irish side, but couldn't come back. Not done intentionally, so the referee gives a scrum to Ireland. Yeah, you look at the emotion in it, and Ross Moriarty. Well, they've given away a penalty already from a late tackle, and Ross Moriarty, he's outstandingly good, but he can get, well, he can see red a little bit early.
He can. That's the first time Wales have struggled to exit. But look at this setup now, right underneath the post. 3 and 3 either side.
Free kick being awarded to Ireland, and CJ Stander's taken it and knocked it forward. Now, if the touch judge on this side has seen it, which he has, I think that's going to be a Welsh scrum. Welsh scrum.
There's a few words coming in from Ross Moriarty to his opposite number, I'm sure.
Accidental offside scrum.
He's trying to hold it.
A lot of talk going on, a lot of chops.
Watch
from both
this.
sides.
Free kick given.
Oh! Horror show. Normally so good. He's normally got incredibly, good skill sets. Hands so good. It just went, and this is what pressure does to you, Ryle. This is what pressure, it just builds and builds. They're still 10-0 down. It's getting to the half an hour point.
Crouch.
Clearly, when CJ Stander took that, it came off his hands and went forward, because had it just come off his boot, that would have been fine, but it must have clipped his arms on the way through, knocked forward as a result. and therefore the scrum to Wales.
Wales struggled, like I said, the last time they exited. But you can see Bigger on that right-hand side. I think this should be quite a simple pass to Bigger, and Bigger unleash one of his torpedoes up to halfway line.
Get your height up, boys. Okay. Sorry, mate.
It's important, though, to reference and contextualise the conditions again, because at the beginning of the game there had been very little rain. It has rained consistently now for the 28-29 minutes of game time, and that's having its impact on the surface underfoot and the ball handling, and nothing that is normally straightforward is straightforward in these conditions with this pressure. Ireland get a nudge on that Welsh scrum, but Wales do enough to hold on to possession, and Davis will dig it out, and Jonathan Davis will be the man to kick for touch. Is this going to make it? Just. And just is a very, very good kick.
Mate, Wales will take it there. They were starting to creak in that scrum. What do you wanted? A tight head to go on that right-hand side so Alexa Gareth-Davies could get that ball to Bigger. It didn't happen. They almost could put the anti-wheel on from Ireland, put pressure on Moriarty, but as a good number 8, he sort of just gets the scraps and goes forward and gets the wreck down to the floor, and allows then Wales just to scramble it away. And good kick from Davis off his left.
James Ryan, Ireland's 22-year-old, calling the line-outs, and that was scrappy from Ireland at line-out time, and Wales put the pressure on. There looked like there was a knock forward there. The referee eventually agrees that it was knocked forward by Ireland, so the put into the scrum will be Wales, and you just feel the pendulum again is swinging towards Wales in terms of the momentum of this game.
Peter O'Mahony, he's their go-to person. He's the top of the line-outs coming into today's game. Unfortunately, doesn't get that one with 23. Gilchrist is second on 17, so you can see how Ireland use O'Mahony all the time. He can go up the 2-jumper, he can go at 4, he can go at the back of the line out.
Keep working the height.
Navidi there was all over him, wasn't he? They know where almost the ball's going when it goes to O'Mahony at the back.
Same again, please.
Alan Wynne-Jones got a hand in there. Handling errors, 4 for Wales, 5 for Ireland.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Still. Go.
It's a better scrum to start with from Wales, and now they make a decent effort into a good effort, but it swings around, and Ireland are guilty of turning that scrum, of whipping it around, which you're not allowed to do. You must stay straight, and in terms of the shoulder positions, but obviously the referee felt and confirms it that Ireland weren't pushing straight, and therefore Wales get the penalty.
Advantage to Wales. You can say they creaked in the last scrum, and they just felt, okay, Ireland might just take this for granted, and they put the second shove on. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because Wales, you can say, went round a little bit as well as Ireland went on that left-hand side, but Bigger will punt this right down into the corner. Not on his best kick. He didn't really come off his boot. I think he shinned down a little bit, but again, they're in the right area. Play down. Get the line out throw. The line out's gone pretty well. And here we go. Keep it straight, keep it straight. Again, all the chat will be going to the referee, and in the end, Angus Gardner gives the penalty to Wales.
The front row of any scrum is a place of dark arts that, unless you've been in it, I genuinely don't believe anybody.
Why would you want to be in it? That's why the rugby's a game for every shape and size, isn't it?
Davis and Alan Wynne-Jones, good hands from the big captain in second row. Under pressure, Rory Best goes after the ball but can't get it for Ireland. And Moriarty, a thunderous run, but Wales go off their feet. And Ireland get the penalty, and James Ryan slowly brings his big frame back to its feet.
It's the same as it was for you guys over there. Stay on your feet, please.
Like father, like son with Moriarty, isn't it? He just takes that ball, and again, they're not going to do anything fancy when they get in the 22. They want Ireland to give a penalty away. They'll just come direct. It's just one out. That time, unfortunately for him, he went a little bit too far, and then people went off their feet. So it relieves the pressure from an Irish point of view, but they've got something about them today, Wales, isn't they? What did Warren Gatland said? They probably had one eye on this game when they went up to Murrayfield, and that's Navidi. So he's just gone off his feet.
Thanks, mate.
It is a pen, but he's gone so hard, Moriarty. That's what happens.
It's fine.
Ireland's line out is the one that is now struggling. And Wales have turned it over, and Alan Wynne-Jones says, "Follow me," to the men in red. Davis. Bigger. Crossfield, the kick goes. Advantage being played to Wales. Ireland were offside. Ringrose makes the tackle. Back will come. No advantage coming. And Wales will, you think, have an opportunity to extend the lead if they kick for the posts.
If I was captain out there, there's only one decision to be made here.
Timing.
Anscombe had a lovely kick the last time. This is straight through the middle. This is 3 points. This is what you practice 1,000 kicks a week for.
I think it may have been Tig Furlong in the number 3 shirt that the referee spotted as being offside, but again Wales causing Ireland problems at the line out. On that occasion, was it Adam Beard?
It was the big giraffe. Get him up at 2. He's 6'6", 6'7". It is Anscombe. And this should be bread and butter, because again you don't have to overkick it. He struck the last one absolutely beautifully, and this would be 13 points going into half-time. Wales catching Ireland offside, aren't they? They're just playing in that line speed. They know they come off the line very, very quick. It's a Farrell thing. Well, it's any defence coach's thing. Get off the line quickly, smash people, but you've got to time it right.
Rain comes down hard once again. Anscombe will probably not even feel it. On its way. He's turned and gone back to his position before the ball has even got over the post. Through the middle it goes. Wales lead it by 13 points to 0. And they've had the possession, and they've most assuredly had the territory, and now they have 13 points on the board, and Ireland are getting detached.
They've had both, and you do exactly what I do. Look at the kicker. Don't have a look. All right, we're halfway line. You're right down the barrel. Just have a look at the kicker. He hit that, had one quick look, and just turned away. What a game, what a start from Wales. They're just building.
Taken by Bigger. And that's a huge kick from Wales outside half, and the bounce did just go exactly as he would have wished, and Sexton sends it back. But there was a big gaping hole over there, and Dan Bigger exploited it really well.
He still made 35 metres. If that had gone in, that was just an incredible touch finder, but that's what he does. Whether he comes on for substitution or he starts, he's just got a raking big boot on him. Soul destroying from an Irish point of view. Yes, they got back. I think Sexton gets back and puts it in, but he still wins the kicking game by 35 metres or so. And your forwards say, cheers, mate. Thank you very, very much indeed.
Thank you.
Shortened line at this time for Wales, and Ken Owens, the hooker. All sorts of movement, and eventually it goes into Alan Wynne-Jones, and Wales go to their maul. And
over now.
There is a real confidence about all that they are doing now. Platform of that early try will have
use now.
Ended any nerves that might have been there before kickoff. This one a real tester outside the Irish 22, and it's taken by Bigger, with Stockdale standing firm. Bigger with the momentum, made the jump, claimed the ball. And Wales feel that inch or two taller than Ireland right now.
That boy is a genius. You don't know how hard that is to do. To have the bravery just to keep looking in the sky, going almost full tilt. And how many, he doesn't hardly drop any. You could see him in the blocks there. He was saying, Gareth Davis, get that ball up in the air. It's a brilliant box kick. Just outside the 22. Stockdale had to come forward. It doesn't matter. He just takes off. He's like an Irish hurler. Is that right? Have I got it right? I've got the right spot. Thank goodness for that. You'd knock me over the head with the microphone if I get it wrong. But brilliant. And look where they've put Ireland. Pressure time now, down on the 22.
Conor Murray with a kick of his own that he won't want to see go out on the full.
Take him back in.
And it has gone out on the full, so we'll go all the way back for the throw-in to the line-out for Wales. Remember, if it's inside that 22 and it kicks directly into touch, then you take the line out from where it crosses the line. But if you bring it back inside that 22 and then kick to touch, well then it goes from where the kick was taken, and Wales have the advantage again. Another basic error from Ireland. They've shot themselves in the foot on this one.
And I didn't think this place could get any noisier, and it has just gone up another level.
Davis for Hadley Parks when he bustles his way into that Irish 22. Sexton makes the tackle. Ken Owens had to stop, having started too quickly in his approach, but the ball is still there for Wales. Alan Wynne-Jones. He's knocked back. Good defence this time from Stander and Furlong. Davis for Navidi, who offloads, but the knock of the tackle was so ferocious.
I was just going to say, they're just going to keep going. One out, just take the momentum up and try and buy a penalty. What we've got, a minute, we're under a minute to go. As soon as they go, try and be a little bit clever. It has gone forward. Is it James Ryan? It's gone forward. It's a knock-on, so they have got a chance. Might be drop goal territory for Sexton and for Bigger.
The referee has reversed his decision.
I got the call wrong, swap over. My bad.
And good on him. It's good refereeing. Like, he sees his mistake on the big screen. He's awarded the penalty to Ireland for what he thinks is a knock-on by number 8, Ross Moriarty, but he hadn't seen the hand of James Ryan knock it forward first. And credit the referee for recognising he'd made a mistake and reversing the decision put into the scrum for Wales.
Crouch.
Incredibly interesting. We got into the red now, but we've got the play. What is Bigger? He's got a box of tricks. What is he going to do?
Last play of the first half, the clock in the red, 40 minutes gone. This is the last play. And Wales trying to turn the screw on the scrum and maybe get a penalty. And they have an advantage, and a little kick through from Bigger. Can they finish the first half as they started it? But we'll come back for that penalty.
Green loose head collapsing.
Collapsing the scrum is the referee's decision. Rory Best can't believe it. Jonathan Sexton looks furious. But Wales have managed this first half oh so well, and now they have an opportunity to add another 3 points and take a 16-point lead to the break.
Well, that was Cian Healy, the loose head going down, and that makes it, I think, at 8 penalties to 5. And Ireland so good. Normally they give away what, I think 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 a game, and but they're already up to.
And it was Cian Healy again. We talked earlier about if you take a knee or you take a hand in the scrum as a front rower, you're going to get penalised, and that's what happened. He may well have slipped. Sexton, well, you can see how fuming he is, but he's got to keep his head.
Well, it's all right, because Angus Gardner was looking up at the big screen and he saw that. What a lead this would be. Well, 13-0, they'd take that, Wales, before the kick-off. 16-0.
He's 3 from 3, Gareth Hanscom, so far. 2 penalties and a conversion before this. And he's added another 3. And there's a pep in the step of Wales as they head towards the dressing room. Ireland have got to figure out something, and they've got to figure it out fast, because right now Wales are nailed on for this Grand Slam. There's a long way to go, though. The half-time score, Wales 16, Ireland 0. Welcome back to the Principality Stadium, and there is the face of the man that scored the opening try after a minute and a half of that first half. Hadley Parks, he followed that up with a wonderful try-saving tackle maybe 3 or 4 minutes later. What is certain is that Ireland have a mountain to climb. And if they're looking for inspiration, maybe they should look to Wales, who trailed by 16 points in game 1 against France and found a way back to win. If Ireland are going to do it, they're going to have to equal that record turnaround, and that man, you feel, and his team are a far bigger threat to being able to see it home than France were against Wales in game week 1. We're off again at the Principality Stadium, Wales on the brink of something very, very special on the day of their head coach Warren Gatland's final Six Nations game. Of course, he'll lead them to the World Cup in September, as will Joe Schmidt for Ireland, but then the two Kiwis depart the scene. Ireland, well, it goes without saying, they've got to find tempo, they've got to find a purpose, and most importantly, they've got to find a score, and one early, if they're to sow any seeds of doubt in this Welsh side. Maul call, says the referee.
They've got to get it territory as well, and that's it's almost the same. Sorry, Rob, but it's almost exactly the same as the first half. You just see what Liam Williams does. He commanded that kick-off when Moriarty, it's gone past Moriarty, no problem at all. I'll just you know, sort it out. I'll just pick that ball up, give a position. You're going to get a lot of kicks now from Gareth Davis and Dan Biggar. Dan Biggar then hits Carney back in the tackle. They put some pressure in, and all of a sudden you get another turnover. Ireland are off sorts because Wales aren't letting them settle at all. 8 penalties already to Ireland. They only conceded 7 in the whole game against France. That's how much pressure and what pressure does to you.
Just make sure when you're coming around you don't touch the halfback.
You know, Joe Schmidt and the Irish team's decision to ask for the roof to be left open, well, if they could reverse that right now, you know they would, because however difficult it is to score 16 points unanswered to get yourself back on level terms, it's even more difficult with the conditions against you. Ireland get a bit of a squeeze on that scrum. Wales pop up first, and Wales struggling. Moriarty at the back, and a boot comes through, and that's fine, and Ireland chase after it, led by Jonathan Sexton. Back goes Anscombe. That's really well done by the out half, who of course is playing fullback now. And we're going to go all the way back. No advantage accruing, says the referee, from the previous scrum where Ireland had been awarded, I think, was it a penalty, or he isn't clear definitively. Maybe it's just a turned over scrum.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Communicating with his touch judge on here. It's a bit of a shambles, isn't it? But that's what Ireland need, actually. A little bit of old-fashioned mayhem, a little bit of old, you know, just kick a ball through, just something to fall their way.
It was a knock-on at the back of that scrum from that man, Ross Moriarty, that the referee had seen, and that's where the advantage came from. None came, so back we go for the scrum. The put-in is Ireland's, and that second row, Tadhg Beirne has removed the scrum cap and is bandaging instead.
Bind!
Wales will take this again, reset scrum. That takes a minute off the clock. I know we've only just started the second half, but all these things will be talked about, especially in the changing room. You don't need to rush. Rush when you've got the ball. Rush when you putting pressure on the side. When it's like this, let the referee take control.
They're singing in the rain in Cardiff and loving every moment.
Well, it just keeps giving, isn't it? The greatest rugby tournament in the world, again in Six Nations.
Bind!
What a first 40. We're worried, can it live up to all the hype? Can it live up to all the stories and this, that and the other selections? The roof open? Well, it has. Can Ireland now live up to their reputation as fighters and world number 2?
Bundy Aki, ball in hand. He's seen precious little of it and then runs into a road that had no exit. Ireland just cannot get forward momentum. Sexton under pressure from scrum half Davis, and he's kicked it out in the full. And well, if you want to synopsize what's going on in this game, there's the last 30 seconds for you. Ireland don't get forward momentum. They get caught behind the gain line. Wales put on pressure through Davis, and Sexton fluffs his lines.
Right, it's a good push initially. Okay, you get a situation. Bundy Aki is now head. This balance of the Welsh back row. You've got the Trebanis Terrier in Tipperick. in your face. Then as soon as that comes out, you get a Navidi, then a Moriarty, and then you've got someone else flying at Sexton, and he's hit it out twice now. That's not like Sexton, but that's what pressure does to you.
Thank you.
Owens finds Alan Wynne-Jones, and Wales have the ball at the back of that maul, and it's a maul that's moving forward. It's with Rob Evans at the back, and Moriarty, wearing 8, will be the next to get it.
One's going sideways.
Moriarty takes it forward.
It was good initially now because it was a short line out. I thought there was some big forwards going to come through the middle. No, that was a catch and drive.
Have Ireland turn it over? They have. A moment of relief for the men in green on this St. Patrick's Day weekend. And so much support here from Ireland, but
yeah, called him out 3.
They have been very quiet, and rightly so. Ireland and their supporters have been put firmly in their box in the opening 45.5 minutes of this game.
Cian Healy was, I think, the man that got that turnover. They need something to go for them. You can just see there that it was Bundyaki and Ringrose come in. You know, normally all the backs come in and pat them on the back, and there was just a little bit laborious. Oh, well done, lads. But they need something to happen, and something happen to fast, because that guy has just written the script, isn't he, how to play. Yes, his players have converted that on the park, but they've taken every opportunity and they've built the pressure.
And a word on that man, Warren Gatland, who you just saw, the head coach of Wales, coach since 2007, a voice in the changing room for what that is 12 years now, and you wonder when someone's been there that long and have been through so many players if he can have an impact, and what an impact he has had as both Wales head coach and as the head coach of the British and Irish Lions, and he has created a terrific legacy to leave behind for Welsh rugby, and they will remember him here for very many years.
And that takes him doing not only for Wales. He is a legend in Wales, and I don't use that word lightly whatsoever. He's probably, or not probably, he is the best coach I've ever seen or heard of that Wales have ever had. And second to that, his record of the Lions. Getting a group of players together from 4 countries to put them together. All right, you win a series in Australia, then to draw a series in New Zealand. He knows what he's talking about, mate. And all the stick that he got in New Zealand as well.
We held the gap. Let's keep the gap, okay? We agreed to it before the game. Let's go, please.
Take another minute.
Absolutely, Wales will be happy if this is scrappy and messy and stop-start and nothing goes on and the game is played where it is. Joe Schmidt, of course, another Kiwi coach, the man in charge of Ireland, a man who delivered a Grand Slam, who has propelled Ireland to their first ever victories over New Zealand, both in Chicago and in Dublin, up to number 2 in the world. It's a position that they will give to Wales today. Should the scoreline remain the same as it is, Wales become the world's number 2 team. Here's Keith Earls, kick over the top. Gareth Anscombe will watch that one and then send it back with interest. High into the sky it goes, it'll come down wet to Rob Kearney, but he does well and then looks to turn defence into attack. Ireland need a spark. They've had precious little, bar that Cripsfield kick for Stockdale in the opening 4 minutes. There's been so little for Ireland to cheer, and again they get caught behind the gain line. Again the infringement comes, and Wales are absolutely lapping this up, and Ireland are playing right into their hands. There seems to be no plan B.
Well, the plan B for me would have been shut the roof and keep the ball dry for both sides. You're going to get a better game. That's just not, you know, hindsight now. It's me saying it before this game got kicked off. Secondly, the Welsh centres now are pushing everybody inside. Ireland are almost having to double catch this ball because it's wet, so you can't get those slick passes off Sexton. You know, that try the CJ Stander put Earls in the French game. All those little intricacies, all those the dexterity, you can't do it. Especially then you add that on top with the pressure that the Welsh back row, second row props are putting on the centres. It's all going one way, and there's no answer. And this will be 19-0.
And the subplot behind all of this for Ireland is a World Cup looming in September, October, where there is a belief that potentially this Irish team peaked last year and won't have it when it comes to next year or this year's World Cup in September, October. Well, that's a long way away and not in their thoughts right now. But it is worrying from the Irish supporters' perspective. Anscombe with an opportunity to extend the lead, the first points of the second half on offer. He's been absolutely flawless so far, and he's done it again. And they stand to salute him, and why shouldn't they? 8.5 minutes into this second half, Wales lead by 19 points to 0, and this is in danger of becoming a rout for Ireland.
It is, because they're going to have to force the hand now. You can see the rain coming down. All Wales have to do is just organise themselves well, exit well, use the 9 and 10. That boy can't miss at the moment. He knows it. There's a big grin on his face, and why not?
Ball bounces away dangerously for Jonathan Davis, and it could have gone into touch or it could have gone dead. And it went dead, and it's that sort of day.
Start the car. It is that sort of day. Nothing is going right. Again, that's what I say. You force your hand. Sexton has to try something differently. You know, you've still got half an hour to go. It just seems to be falling around, and this boy will just use all his experience. Jonathan Davis, you're taught as a schoolboy not to do that because you're turning your back on the opposition. Doesn't matter, he knows where that ball is running.
Had it gone the other side of the flag and into touch, it would have given Ireland perfect position, but it didn't. It goes dead, and it turns the ball over, and it goes all the way back to the halfway line. And the penalty for kicking the ball dead from a restart is a scrum to the opposition on the halfway line.
We'll just take a minute here again in the scrum. And why not? You've got to dictate, you've got a conductor out there from 1 to 15 as far as I'm concerned with Wales. They just know what to do. Warren Gatland says this team doesn't know how to lose. Well, they're just playing with Ireland at the moment. It's a good set piece. The line-out's gone well. The scrum has gone well. They're in an armchair.
Moriarty for Davis, and up comes Murray, and Davis skins him, and away he goes. And Ireland scamper back, and it's Stockdale that makes the tackle, but the ball is there for Wales again, and Alan Wynne-Jones sets it up. Navidi in to try and secure the ball, but Ireland have put numbers in, and they've turned it over. And here's Sean O'Brien, and he goes to ground, and Tadhg tries to put the players on their back, and the ball looked like it was spilled forward to me, but referee happy to let it continue, and Ireland throw O'Mahony, and then Keith Earls, and O'Mahony has to get out of the way, and Jonathan Davis launches himself at Earls and makes the tackle. And after all that, Ireland have the ball on the 10-metre line. Changes look like they're coming for Ireland. Ringrose takes it into contact. Murray has a little look, thought about maybe going around the blind side, but holds on to the ball.
6.
Murray with the box kick, but that's a poor one from Ireland. Scrum half gave no chance to the chasing pack to get there to compete, and it's free ball for Hadley Parks to kick downfield. It's chased by Dan Bigger, and then Murray makes a mess of the clearance kick, and you can hear the car engine revving outside to get Ireland out of here.
7.
I think Murray will not be long. I think they need some fresh legs, fresh thought process out there. I think Conan's going to come on for
Sean O'Brien.
Sean O'Brien, just add a little bit of oomph, a little bit of zest there, but it's not going to make a difference. I don't personally think just the way that this stranglehold that Wales have on the game. They're so comfortable. You can see that little break then that Gareth Davis just inside, you know, Conor Murray. That shouldn't happen. Conor Murray should not give him that gap.
Sean O'Brien, another who will not likely play for Ireland in a Six Nations again. Ball with Hadley Parks, and now there for Davis, and they're all hungry, Wales. They want the ball, they want the contact, they want to hammer home this advantage. Alan Wynne-Jones, wrapped up by CJ Stander. So little we've talked of Stander with ball in hand moving forward. He's so important for Ireland. Anscombe with advantage. Bigger tried to latch onto it. Murray has it, and it's all very messy. And we'll go back, and we'll have the advantage and the penalty. Ireland not rolling away from the breakdown from the ball, which meant Wales were not able to get the ball away quickly. It's another penalty, and you suck up the time when you kick it goal and you add another 3, and Ireland have just got no answers.
I think it's a play from Wales. They're just delaying it. Gareth Davis does it brilliantly. I'm not quite sure. It's getting too excited to see where the ball was going. Who did it on that occasion? But Ireland have to snap. They have to snap off the line. And now that's 10 penalties. There you go. It's CJ Stander. Whether that was for the penalty.
What was that one for? Oh, your tackler's slowing the ball down, and then we had one take the bloke out off the ball, okay? So the discipline's got to improve.
So the referee has made a bit of a trek forward to have a conversation with Rory Best, Ireland's captain, and he's spoken to him about discipline, and that generally indicates that if there's one more or maybe two more infringements from Ireland, he's going to go to his pocket, he's going to issue a yellow card, and Ireland will have to face 10 minutes with only 14 players.
Well, if this goes over, if Ireland score 3 converted tries, they're still behind.
Anscombe. It's been like clockwork since the opening 2 minutes. And over it goes. And away he struts. And Wales lead it by 22 points to 0. And if the face of a man told the story of a nation, that man in green in the crowd was he.
I think the Dragons getting a little bit hoarse. It's just been building and building and building, and Anscombe again then just threw that. He hit it, and he didn't even look that time. He just threw it to Neil Jenkins, the kicking coach, and said, there you go, pal. 22 points to 0.
Change in the front row. Well, 2 changes in the front row for Wales. Out have come Tom Francis and Rob Evans, which means Nicky Smith and Dylan Lewis both come in wearing shirts 17 and 18. And now Warren Gatland can make changes with an eye on giving players experience at this level. And who would have thought he would have been in a position of luxury like that after 54 minutes. Conor Murray, Jonathan Sexton, Sexton on the little reverse, and Bundyaki eventually has some room to run into, and I can't remember Ireland making such ground
Leave him. Advantage.
in the game up until now. Advantage being played to Ireland. For once it's Wales who infringe, but Ty Furlong gets the ball and he gets 2 defenders. Will go for that penalty over on the far side from the
Number 9, Red.
advantage. Gareth Davis,
Continuing
the man
on
who's penalised.
with the green halfback. Taking out the green halfback. 9 Red.
Well, that was the plan for. They've got to go for it. Well, they have to go for it. That's the understatement of the afternoon, isn't it, really?
You can't continue
They've
on.
been shellacked for the first 54 or so minutes. They've got to make this count. But again, this is where Wales they haven't been at their best through this tournament. They've just scraped and they've got a few wins. But they get off the floor. They believe in each other. So this should be diffused, this line-out. They're so good at defending these line-outs.
They may not have been at their best through this tournament, but they have been at their best in this. Well, the first half they were accurate in everything that they were asked to do. They played with a bit of passion and a bit of head as well.
It's the heart and belief.
No doubt. And Ireland, well, they stutter with their own line-out ball. Secure it, but any platform for the moment is gone. Conan looks to inject a bit of strength and a bit of go-forward ball, and Ireland get up 6 metres, 7 metres short of the Welsh line. James Ryan, Navidi there to make the tackle. So many Welsh shirts willing. Conor Murray fires it out. Ireland inside the 5 metre line. Murray again, Ringrose. He's had precious little with ball in hand. Murray once more. Scrum half to Sexton, and Sexton and Carney. Well, it was like 2 fellas who'd never met before.
I think Sexton needs to go and have a bath, and I don't mean that in a nasty way. I think you just need a bit frazzled out there. The thought process is gone. I think I think Joe Schmidt should get all the bench on. Got absolutely nothing to lose. The game is gone. We're coming up to the last quarter.
21 into the game. Alan Davis replaces Gareth Davis, and it's been an armchair ride for the Welsh coaching staff. Their plan was so accurately delivered in the opening 40 minutes, and they followed that up with just being professional and accurate in this second half. But Ireland have had no answers, and Ireland, well, they were a team under Joe Schmidt that came into this tournament with so much expectation, and they stuttered on day 1 against England. It looked like last week against France they'd found some form, but as we've seen from France, it's a bad form line, because they too have been poor in this tournament. And today, to this point, Ireland have simply been found out. Ken Owens to Purick. And Murray off crumbs at the back of the breakdown. Conor Murray, the ball not controlled, and it's into touch.
I think they're going to have to go upstairs for that. It was like a pinball.
Red foot on the ground, green line out. Go. Green line out.
Green line out is the decision.
Green line out.
So let's see if we can see what happened here.
Let me
Ball
explain.
back.
It was off the green.
Murray had it.
The green player, then red foot into touch.
That is a really good call from the officiating staff. Off a green foot, off a red shin, and into touch.
He was in the perfect position. That's why he's a referee and we're not. But they've got to score.
Move, boys. Marks.
Ireland have to do this, but again, Wales are so adept to just bringing this down, diffusing this. But Ireland have to do something, cute.
And the crowd raise their voice in hope of a defensive effort from Wales.
Once.
Rory Best has it at the back of the maul for Ireland. Conor Murray looks to direct the traffic in the number 9 shirt, telling them where to push and where to go. Murray flips it out to Stockdale, but Wales swarm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Any one of 4 could have made the tackle. Stander. Murray, Cian Healy. Rory Best put to ground immediately. Ball not control, and who has it? Knock forward.
Alan Wynn's got it. That's who's got it.
Terrific defensive effort. Biggers knocked it forward. It doesn't matter though. Ireland made the first error.
I can't hear myself think. Tipperick again. He's just in the right place at the right time. The balance of this back, the balance of the Welsh pack, I've got to say, it's just outstanding. They just almost know where that ball's going. Just get a foot in there, and is Moriarty smashing him there. Look at Tipperick. It's the 1-2. 1-2 show, and then he's just on the floor. The referee said play on jouer. And all of a sudden, it's mayhem, and then the captain just comes up and tries to call things. The ball goes back. Hadley Parks knocks it on, but Wales have got the put in.
Change for Ireland in the front row. Cian Healy has made way, and Dave Kilcoyne comes in to win cap number 29. That's he wearing the number 17 shirt for Ireland. And there's Cian Healy making way. Tyke Byrne is gone as well. Made that early turnover, Tyke Byrne. And, well, he's had a horrid day since, as has the entire Irish pack. That man on the right, Quinn Rue, in to win cap number 12.
Boys, gap, and gap, hold the gap. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Alan Davis feeds the Welsh scrum. Ireland whip it around, and the referee says we'll reset.
Well,
it's down far side.
He's given a few for people going down in an Irish shirt, and then the Welsh prop went down onto his knee.
Bring it over.
But again, it'll suit Wales. They'll just take another minute. It's a reset. This is my bugbear, actually, just the amount of time that we do miss out of a fantastic game. I think that if it goes down after the first scrum, the clock should be stopped until the ball, if it was a reset until then that ball comes out, if you see what I mean.
I do, but we might never go home.
Well, at least the clock will be stopped. Yeah,
correct.
A day and a half. It's a good game, man. There's my theory.
Crouch.
No, it is.
Thanks for
an
dismissing
issue.
it.
No, it's an issue that the game needs to deal with, because there is so much time wasted on scrum sets and resets.
Still.
What an atmosphere.
Bread of heaven rings out.
Alan Davis with the box kick. Really, really well executed. Rob Kearney could do nothing but watch it bounce. And look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Welshmen up to make sure Kearney cannot take the quick throw in. And
number 2, red.
It'll be a throw into Ireland, but from a standard line out. Change for Wales. Into the game comes Elliot D. And the warrior that is Ken Owens. Listen to the reception he gets. Terrific, and rightly so.
It's just, you can believe now. I was lucky enough to be involved in 3 Grand Slams back in the 90s, well, the 5 Nations as it was called there. And you never think, oh, possibly being one, but to do 3, and these guys now, I think Wales, and the Gatlin's done 3.
Who's going to win the foot race? Keith Earls should and does. And he's put to ground.
22.
And it was touched down by the Irishman, so it should be a 22 dropout. Wales suggesting that he brought the ball back over his own line. Jonathan Davis doesn't need to get involved.
Well, as Angus Gardner's done all day,
guys, if you kicked it through.
he'll work it out.
Stop, stop.
Was
Stop.
it knocked forward by CJ Stander?
It's a 22.
Let's see. Keith Earls brought that back over his own line, and you understand why the crowd are saying.
Yeah, agree.
I told you, CJ Stander, he's taken it. I could see it from here.
So Keith Earls brings it back over his own line, then gets hit by the Welsh defender, which means he's grounded it behind his own line. And the referee, for the second time in this game, has seen it on the big screen and changed his original decision. It's infuriating for the players, the Irish players in particular, but it's the right call.
But why not? It is. You hold your hand. I made a decision. He's going to make so many decisions out there. Sometimes you're going to get it wrong, especially without this pressure, especially without this noise. It's gone up another gear now. I'm just coming back to the point I made it. You can now believe, Wales, you are going to get another Grand Slam. 3-under Gatland, because Ireland aren't coming back from this. And it's just how they want to now rub a little bit more salt, a little bit more dirt into the face of Ireland.
Crouch! Stand up.
And we're going to have another reset at the scrum. You know, 10 years ago, Ireland came to this very ground.
You've got to hold them back. They're not stable.
To try and win a Grand Slam of their own, and it was a magical day for Irish rugby as Ronan O'Gara drop-kicked a goal with, 3 minutes left on the clock, and then Stephen Jones had a penalty fall short with the final kick of the game for Wales, and Ireland and the Irish support won the Grand Slam that day. A decade later, on St. Patrick's weekend, it's Wales who will feel that wonder of winning a Grand Slam. A Grand Slam that at the beginning of this championship seemed like nothing other than a pipe dream for them. But now listen, and again remember, the national game in the national stadium, it's so much part of the psyche and the culture here. It means so much. There are the changes to the Welsh side so far in this second half.
Well, he did win the Gold Cup. Album photo, you know. Willie Mullins, for goodness sake. Stop moaning.
Bind!
What a launch pad now. What a launch pad.
And again, well, it's just eating up the clock. And the referee will just reset, and
let's go, bring it over here, boys.
And his backroom staff, Sean Edwards, the defensive coach, on the left as you look at the picture.
Do you think there'll be a glass of red tonight? One or two?
Got to get the height up. There's no way you can
and why not?
I want the height up both packs, okay?
Marshalled
and the
performance.
Gap. Let's go.
Like you said, the clock is Ireland's friend now. It's tick-tick-tocking down. Wales are just happy. They're in the right area. The 3 converted tries and a penalty up. So that's what Ireland have to do, and they ain't doing it.
Bind! Set! Still!
Somewhere in Twickenham, Eddie Jones and England know that their opportunity to win the 2019 Six Nations is slipping away. Penalty to Ireland in Sexton. Well, in terms of simple pride in
just collapsing on yours,
their
lost the hit.
effort today, they will want to get that 0 off the scorecard.
Absolutely. You just as a sort of having a shandy. I mean, imagine Farrell and Edwards having a shandy after the 2 defence coaches. Even Stevens throughout this tournament, and one has just basically nilled the other one. But Eddie Jones coming out this week. Wales look a tired side. Well, Eddie, you're going to have to eat your words there, mate. They've been far from that.
Andrew Porter is into the game, which means that Tyke Furlongan's gone. That's Jordan Lorimer who's in, and Rob Carney, fullback, has gone, and Niall Scannell has come in at hooker wearing the number 16 shirt, which means Rory Best has played his final part in the Six Nations for Ireland this afternoon. Wales make a mistake but even in doing so, they knock it backwards rather than forwards.
Let him go. Tackle.
So the game will continue, and possession is secured. Kilcoyne makes the tackle on Dylan Lewis.
Okay, use that.
Alan Davis. That one's not got any distance, and it'll be a competition that Ireland managed to get their hands on and win. James Ryan, the man who secures possession. Conor Murray for Peter O'Mahony. Murray once more.
Play on.
Referee says play on. And Jonathan Sexton has it and lets it go, and away goes Adams. And a little kick and chase, and Adams goes after it. 3 Irish shirts, and Lorimer pops it away, and Earls completes the job. And that was a cool head from the 21-year-old in defence, but that man, Josh Adams, well, Sexton knocked it forward, and then, well, the green defence opened up, and away Adams went. Knew he hadn't got the support, had to do it on his own. But Lorimer, wearing 23, picked, drew, passed, and Earls finished the job.
One of the players of the tournament, obviously Josh Adams, with all his try-scoring prowess. The step up in Murrayfield to score his try, just brilliant. But again, it's all about playing the game in the right areas, and that's what they wanted to do. Put in pressure, and they're back down on the 22. They've got to throw into the line out.
Yeah, Josh Adams tries against Italy and England and Scotland. Will be talked about as one of the players of the tournament. That'll be decided over the next week or so. There's Justin Tupurik takes from Elliot D. And substitute hooker D has it at the back of the Welsh maul.
Don't use now, going sideways, stay there.
Now Davis, Hadley Parks wrapped up by Sexton.
So it's very simple. Sorry, Ryle, it's a very simple game plan. You just take it down, catch and drive. You suck the life out of it. You put it out to Hadley Parks, hits that one, and then you just use your forwards.
Josh Navidi carries. Baird, Elliot D. Ireland going to make a change at scrum half. Kieran Marmion's going to come in for Conor Murray in a moment. Bigger has options both ways, and then chooses to go high into the Cardiff sky. And Ireland knock it forward, and it drops into the hands of Adam Beard, and the big man rumbles forward. And Ireland give away another penalty. That's 2 in the last passage of play. Advantage being played. Another free roll of the dice. Bigger if he sees Liam Williams, and he tries to execute. Williams plays a little bit of soccer and tries to kick it around the corner, but nothing comes. We'll go back for the penalty. 18. And there's another 3 there if they want them.
Oh, they'll take the 3.
Number 18,
takes the clock down by a minute.
Feet.
18, that's stupid. I think it was Quinn Roux. Again, the box kick from Bigger.
Stockdale spilled it.
Yeah, another turnover conceded, but the penalty is ratcheting up again for Ireland. That's 11 they've made, and I've got to just mention Navidi. He's made 18 tackles. Just his work rate is phenomenal, and then it's bump, he's back up again. This is the philosophy that this Welsh defence have got. Bump, they're back up.
This is our house. It most certainly is, sir. It most certainly is.
And what a party he's going to have in this house tonight. 70-odd thousand people. There you go. Take the plaudits, Warren. Rob Howley, all the boys. Never in their wildest dreams would they have woken up this morning and thought he'd go in for 10 minutes to go. We're kicking a penalty to make it 25-0.
It's so unstable before the ball comes in, but it's hard for us to give it a solid platform if we're pushing before it comes. So
he ain't missed, has he?
Well, I was just about to see. There's
since the
all the places from which he has scored, and a number of them have been in this sort of territory.
We need to get the height up and the stability.
Away it goes, swings it up the centre, and it finds the centre. And the flags go up and the crowd cheer again, and Wales lead it by 25 points to 0. And Ireland must feel like they're living in a nightmare.
Well, they brought that Kiwi now, and it was in the first minute, wasn't it? The North Shore boy, Anscombe popping the ball over for the Huntersville Hadley Parks, and just it started from then. It was just one way going, wasn't it?
Sexton with the restart. He's had to do way too much of that this afternoon. Is Jonathan Sexton. Jonathan Davis watches it into touch, and Ireland will have the line out halfway between the Welsh 10-metre line and the halfway line. The big imposing lumberjack look of
Tom off.
Jake Ball will come in. There's Kieran Marmion, who's coming at scrum half for Ireland.
He's a commentator's delight, isn't he, Jake Ball? Because you're never going to get him wrong.
Careful, it can happen. It can happen.
There's always a first.
Here's Scannell. Hadley Parks has been called out, and Owen Watkin is in, wearing number 23 for Wales. The big cheer for Hadley Parks, the try scorer that set the tone for the day for Wales in the opening minute and a half.
17! Good.
Marmion for Aki. Round the corner goes Sexton, and then Gary Ringrose. Pick and go from Conan, and on his shoulder is Marmion. Someone's going to have to play scrum half. Scannell picks and goes.
Offside,
Advantage
18,
being played to Ireland. Wales in at the side. Ryan. Marmion. Stander from a standing start, and that's been the difference.
Still playing penalty advantage.
In terms of go forward ball. Ireland arriving too early and having to go from a standing start. Wales up in numbers, cut it off, and no forward momentum. Sexton pirouettes into another red shirt. This time it's Nicky Smith to make the tackle. James Ryan has worked and worked and worked, but he's been outplayed by the experience and the guile of Alan Wynne-Jones. In the Welsh second row, Bundy Aki carries, and Tupurik makes another tackle, and Alan Wynne-Jones can stand back and wave out to his defenders to fan across the pitch, and Ireland will get the penalty that they need to probably kick to the corner and look to the line out and try and get something out of this day as the Welsh find their voice once again.
Wales.
Well, they'll be singing tonight. They were singing in the hotel last night when I got in about 1:30, and I wasn't hours working, as you know, before you start. There will be some party in Cardiff. Some party. There always is a party in Cardiff. There'll be the best of all, I would think. Gatlin's last game, Schmidt's last game, Alan Wynne-Jones getting the world record, the Welsh record caps. Losing myself here. Everyone to a man has played their part. And again, like never in their wildest dreams, that Johnny Sexton got 25-0. 25-0.
Jack Carty comes in to win just his third cap, and Sexton and Ireland will need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to find their form again ahead of the World Cup. Scannell has at the back of them all. Ireland desperate to stop the shutout. 25-0. Can they find a way? Bundy Aki.
Leave it.
Tackle comes from Dan Biggar. Navidi just makes life awkward.
Well done.
Dirty ball for Ireland. Simple as that. Not clean, not effective, just scrappy.
17.
Slow ball, it's wet ball, it's ball going back all the time. Bundy Aki, he's had no platform to actually sort of do what Manu Tuolangi probably will do in the next game against Scotland. Go straight, carry the ball.
Advantage.
Advantage being played offside
Red.
against Wales once more. Jack Carty carries Marmion, the other substitute in the half-back partnership, takes it on, but he gets smashed in the tackle. Lorimer will play scrum half. Little dummy, but no one bought it, and Ireland get the penalty.
Yeah. You're right.
The old warrior, Alan Wynne-Jones,
18.
is taking his time. The clock's ticking down. We've got what?
Number 18.
6 minutes to go. They're going to have to pump this into the corner. Gone are the days when we used to see a little tap move with all the wall ball or whatever.
Referee's looking for 18.
Two
Dylan
offsides
Lewis.
from you now. Yes, you've got to get back to the last foot.
Carty goes to the corner, and here are all the changes Ireland made from their starting 15. Maybe a last opportunity for Ireland to get some points.
Once.
Scannell wearing 16 at the back. Wales hold firm, Ireland inch forward, a bit more momentum now, the body position's decent. And then the ball is spilled, and O'Mahony, in fact, Conan is the first to react. Ball was dropped, and it seemed like no one had noticed. Andrew Porter around the corner. Navidi, one of those to meet him on that gain line.
Leave it!
Ireland throwing bodies at it.
Stay
but
on.
there's been a lack of creativity and a lack of belief in these situations throughout this tournament. Maybe with Wales knowing they have it, Ireland can find a way. And the Welsh crowd scream out for Wales to continue this defensive effort. Conan carries again, and then it's Quinn Roux. Marmion.
Ball was out.
Ball was out, so the referee and Bigger made the tackle. Narrower of the two sides is where Ireland go now. Carty, tackle from Wainwright.
Hold.
Ireland marching towards the line, but Wales eventually find a way of putting the man down. Ryan is the latest to carry Porter after 14 phases of defensive effort from Wales. Goes again, advantage being played to Ireland. Wales offside. Marmion digs it out. O'Mahony. Ireland, little kick in behind. Watched all the way and touched down by Wainwright. But we'll go back for the penalty.
There's going to be a card now. There has to be.
This time number 17's offside, Pillar first man. So we've had 2 from 18 down here, 1 from 17. If we have another one down here, when you're under pressure, someone will go to the bin. Too many offsides. Yes, you need to have a word to them.
Just incredible defence. That
offside.
Told me everything I needed to know about this Welsh team and how close they are. They're just unbelievable speed when they get down. They just go out and they're pushing people out of the way to make the tackle, to make the hit. All right, they are overstepping the mark, but it's just a natural occurrance.
This game is done. They've won a Grand Slam. They don't. Well, they could be forgiven for being a little bit soft in defence with 3.5 minutes left, but they've stuck to their task and they'll want to. There's a pride in defending that line. Ireland go towards the tail.
Once.
Scanlon has it again, but it's predictable from Ireland so far. And Wales hold firm. And Ireland are told to use it, and again, a great defensive effort from Wales. Bundyaki uses the battering ram. Navidi says, not on my watch, and makes the tackle. Porter, fresh legs, just can't find a way through. Marmion for CJ Stander. And Stander wrestled to the ground by Nicky Smith. Marmion, phase after phase. Carty knocked forward. And Wales have advantage, and it's hacked clear, and now it's a foot race, and Ireland go flying back, and Lorimer loses the ball for a moment but gathers. But Wales, look, all those men make the effort, and then they get to him, and Davis holds them up, and they turn it into a maul. And if Ireland bring it into the maul and can't bring it back, it's handed over to Wales, and a nation celebrates.
I think this nation's been celebrating since the first minute when they scored that Hadley Parkes try. This has been an incredible performance, both in attack, both about constructing moves, about putting pressure on the opposition. That set down there when Ireland went for line out after line out after line out, and then they've come away with the ball. I have been here on a couple of occasions. I have never experienced emotion like this, and that man has led unbelievably well.
Okay, time on. Let's go. Let's go.
Gareth Anscombe is named as the Guinness Man of the Match. Prolific with the boot. When the opportunities were given to him by Ireland, he took every single one of them. And yes, well, there have been Man of the Match candidates all over the pitch.
We had a shot of Warren Gatland there, and he's believed in him. Anscombe's had his doubters. Bigger gets the bigger role when the teams are read out. But it's a team game. It's a 23-man game if you're going to go and do something in the World Cup. And now he's found out on the biggest stage with a pressure game like this on Ireland, a Grand Slam game. He now knows you've got 2 good ones out there. Well, you knew anyway, but the crowd, I think, needed just telling and showing, and they've showed that today. Ice cold.
Stop.
Just listen to this.
This will be outside your door of the hotel about 4 o'clock in the morning, mate. So get used to it. What a noise. The greatest rugby tournament in the world.
Bind. Set. Boys, come over. Come over here, please. Shush. Benny, can you have a look that side?
This is likely to be the last play of the game. Well, you've started this day believing that Wales were going to shut Ireland out. We're going to dominate this game. We're going to win it by 25 clear points. There would have been people questioning your sanity. No one saw this, except maybe the Welsh coaching staff and the Welsh players. They've conceded a penalty.
Number 2 standing up under pressure.
What happens now will be the final play of the game. Ireland can kick to the corner and we'll have time.
Hang on. Timekeeper, is that time or not? You can still go. Okay, that's fine.
You can still go. The referee confirms with the television match official, who is Marius Juncker. We've heard precious little from him today, haven't needed to. So one last play of the game for the 2019 Guinness Six Nations for Wales and Ireland.
Alan Wynne-Jones is still screaming at his troops at this line-out. Yeah. We're going to nil them. They're not going to score. Let's get our set right. Keep them out. What a leader.
Last throw of the dice for Ireland to come away with something. CJ Stander goes down a blind side where there was nobody there to support him. Wales get the bodies over the ball. They think they've turned it over. The referee doesn't agree. Marmion will dig it out and Porter will get a face full of Justin Tupuric. Ball juggled with. Ringrose in midfield. Only one Irishman outside him. So he has to go back to the safety of the pack. Carty pops it off and Quinn Rue is there, but Elliot Dee meets him on the gain line. Little kick in behind. Liam Williams can't get to it. Stockdale does. Stockdale almost away. Strength might get him there. They're a metre short. Wales somehow get back. Ireland banging on the door, trying to get the 0 off the scoreboard. It's all they have to play for. Wales determined to see this one out. On Ireland go. Are they to have the last say? Marmion gets caught. It's advantage to Ireland. Ball is turned over. Wales have it, so we'll go back for the knock forward. Marmion has somehow come away with it. Ryan takes it up for a yard. Wales continue that defensive effort. Ireland look held up again. They are. Marmion. Carty out wide. Must be. Lorimer steps. And Lorimer will score. And for every Irish supporter here, that is a mighty relief. But it doesn't take a single thing away from the team in Wales, in red. Not one single thing. Jordan Lorimer in for the try. The big donut is gone from Ireland's scoreline, but the damage will take a long, long time to repair.
You don't become a bad team overnight, and in the end, the dam did just about break. The defence you thought was going to be a perfect end to what is a perfect day for Wales, keeping Ireland to nil. It isn't to be. But like you said, Ireland you've got to go back and think again. But fair dues to Wales, they have been unbelievable. Here they go, this is it.
Up goes the flags. Off goes the whistle. And that man and his team have done, well, what looked like impossible after 40 minutes in Paris in round one. They have found a way to win the Grand Slam, and they have done it in some style. The final score at the Principality Stadium, for the record, is Wales 25, Ireland 7. And the cheers ring around a stadium that I haven't heard like this with the roof open before. When the roof is closed, it can be magnificent, but the noise level, the sense of celebration, the sense of relief, the sense of achievement for the people of Wales and that Welsh side, Dowie, magnificent.
And what do they say in Wales? What does Max Boyce says? I was there, and we were there today to watch an unbelievable performance. Wales, wonderful Wales. Warren Gatland, well, he will go down in the pantheon of greats. Edwards, John, JJ, Gravel, et al.
We might be in a position to go down to the side of the field and get some immediate reaction, but just to pick up the point on where Wales are now in terms of the Rugby World Cup. Yes, New Zealand, always New Zealand, but Wales will go from these shores with real belief and real hope, Dowie.
Again, I love to use this phrase, and I have used it with Ireland when Ireland were playing well. It's a band of brothers, and you can see it's that people, you know, being forced out of the way. I want to make the tackle, but here we go.
Gareth Anscombe, many congratulations. You are the man of the match today, and there's Rory Sheridan from Diageo to present you with a very well-deserved medal.
Oh, cheers, mate.
It's the Grand Slam. What does that mean to this group of players right now?
Oh, it's hard to put into words, to be honest. You know, we've worked incredibly hard over the last year, to be honest, and you know, obviously we just had a habit of winning, and you know, we started well today. It was tricky conditions, and you know, I just can't say enough about our group. It's a special group, and you know, we work pretty hard for each other.
Warren Gatland talked about encouraging you to embrace the Grand Slam, not to run away with it. Did you feel any pressure at all before this game?
Yeah, of course, but we wanted to enjoy it. You know, we're in the best stadium in the world in front of, you know, our people, and you know, we wanted to take the game to them, and look, we started well and we built from that, and obviously once you get behind in these tricky conditions, you know, it's tough to pull back.
It was your lovely little chip through that led to the try from Hadley Parks. How much has Warren Gatland encouraged you, Gareth, to just go out and play?
Yeah, look, at times it's just about trying to pick your moments, isn't it? And look, it hasn't all been smooth sailing for myself, but I'm glad that one came off for me in Parksy, and you know, it's a day and a weekend to remember for Welsh rugby.
Give us a little sneak preview of what the celebrations might look like tonight.
Oh, a couple of days, I think. I don't know if I'll go on to train on Monday. I have to ask the coach.
Many, many congratulations to you.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Well, Rory, that's not how you would have liked to end your last Six Nations match. Where were Ireland today?
Look, I think Wales had a cracking start, and they built into the game. They're a very, very good side, a very determined side. They're very hard to beat here in the Principality Stadium, and we just couldn't get a footing in the game. You know, obviously our set piece wasn't up to standards that we expect. They came after us, and they really put a lot of pressure on us, and we just struggled to respond.
When you beat New Zealand in the autumn, Irish rugby was, you know, top of the world. What's happened in the last couple of months?
Look, it's a very competitive Six Nations. We've lost to two very, very good sides. We'll have to go away and address why we lost and how we can get better. And we always strive to get better. We haven't done that. We've been a little inconsistent in this championship, and yeah, we'll have to dust ourselves off and try to finish the calendar year strong. Is it a big setback in World Cup year? Look, it's very, very disappointing, but look, I think we can talk about the aftermath of this later on. You just have to give credit to Wales. They're deserving Grand Slam winners, and you know all we can do now is watch and congratulate them. Well said, Rory. Thank you.
2019 Grand Slam champions. That sounds pretty good. How proud a Welshman are you right now?
Sorry?
How proud a Welshman are you right now?
I could be sitting in the stands right about now, to be honest with you. I'm just proud of the group of guys and the backroom staff. It's a bit of a milestone for a lot of the staff in particular. But you know, anything can happen when you work hard and you're a proud nation, and I think we showed that over the last 9 weeks.
How much does Warren Gatland make this group of players believe that nothing is impossible?
Well, it filters down. He's the man at the top, and don't get me wrong, we've been under pressure. He's been under pressure, but he's always been unwavering and pretty unflappable, really. You know, it's easy to say that now off the back of a win, but you know, he's got a bit left on his contract, like I said the other day, but I'm sure we'll miss him when he's eventually gone.
14th win on the spin has landed you the slam. What will that do for self-belief in the Rugby World Cup year?
I think it's probably more than self-belief. I think there's character at times, and we're not going to shy away. At times we've been pretty unconvincing as well. So we'd like to think there's still more potential in us, but we're going to be well aware that we just put a big target on our backs as well.
Many, many congratulations. Well done.
Diolch yn fawr.
Well, there is a captain who clearly understands. It's phenomenal for him to be even able to consider that at this moment, that he can look and celebrate what is a wonderful achievement, but know what it's going to take. The honesty and the directness of Alan Wynne-Jones. Breath of fresh air, Dowie.
Well, Hansen's the best at this, isn't Eddie Jones think is Steve Hansen is when Ireland beat them over there. So, well, we used to be the hunters, now you're the hunted. And he just mentioned that again. You've got a target on your back. You know you're ratcheted up because everyone wants a piece of you. But it's a fantastic achievement. He's got his feet firmly on the floor. And it's something about second rows, isn't it? Paul O'Connell, you mentioned before. Martin Johnson, I was lucky enough to play with her. They just have this authority, but they've got this cool mind and whatever. And, you know, this guy knows, and that's why he picks him as captain and gets a balance in the back row of Navidi, Moriarty and Tipuric. I thought it was the three of them. It was just brilliant. It's just a fairy tale day for Wales and for Gatland.
First time coach to win 3 Grand Slams in the Six Nations. 2008, 2012 and now 2019. Warren Gatland has weaved his magic and he's weaved his name into the history books of both the Six Nations and forever in Welsh rugby, and he will take all the plaudits, and rightly so, for what he has managed to put together and pull together for Welsh rugby. And it has to be remembered, a time in Welsh rugby where the clubs are in disarray, where the back rooms have been a real problem, and yet they've not been distracted, and that group of players have delivered for themselves, for their coach and for their nation. And for Ireland, conversely, it's a concern. Joe Schmidt will be as pragmatic and realistic as Alan Wynne-Jones was, and they will know that with a World Cup coming in September, October, they have a lot to do, and confidence is so important, and it must be on the floor right now.
To take Ireland from the point of view, you don't become a bad team overnight, but yes, there is plenty to do. This will be a big proverbial kick in the whatevers for them, just to be blown away, and they were blown away in every facet. But for Wales, you couldn't have scripted it with all this talk of the Scarlets going, and the Ospreys, the enemies that used to be going back in the history of Welsh rugby. That guy has obviously kept him together. Gatland's kept him together. This band of brothers have said, okay, whatever's going to happen will happen. We've got a chance to go down in the annals of history. We've got a chance to say, yeah, actually I won a Grand Slam and it was blooming great. And that's what's happened. And now they're going to get their right rewards, and it's party time.
His Royal Highness Prince William will make his way onto the Principality Stadium pitch and out to the presentation area where the trophy will be handed over to the supporters and the team and the coach of Wales. Remember, still one more game to come, the Calcutta Cup match at Twickenham between England and Scotland. It always has a moment, the sense of a game that's special in the annals of the Six Nations, but it will feel like the after party, the afterthought now, with Wales as the Grand Slam champions.
It will indeed, but I think England will go out and put a performance in as they did against Italy, a power-packed performance. They're building for the World Cup. Wales are building for the World Cup. Ireland are going to have to lick their wounds and then build for the World Cup.
Well, you talk about the psychological winners and losers in this Six Nations. No question about the men in red. They will go to that World Cup brimming full of confidence. England, you feel, also will go to that World Cup knowing that they have the ability to win it. Ireland, you have to question where they're going to find the belief from and the performance from to get there. For France, for Scotland, for Italy, it is something that they cannot even conceive right now, performing at a World Cup. But that's for another day. Right now, it's about Wales individuals receiving their medals. They'll receive, of course, the Triple Crown trophy for beating Ireland and for beating England and for beating Scotland. An internal competition for the Celtic cousins to play for along with England, and then of course the Grand Slam trophy for their victories. Remember, in week one it was victory over France and then Italy, and then that pivotal moment against England followed up by victory against Scotland, and then here today against Ireland. And through the players will come. There was a man who was magnificent today, almost man of the match, Josh Navidi.
He ended with 28 tackles. Tipuric put 25 in against the Scots.
And Tipuric is the man who follows him up wearing the blue scrum cap.
They're so intelligent, the balance, Moriarty as well. It's just, is that sixth sense to know where the other one is.
Ross Moriarty wearing 8, the back row come up together, and then it's Gareth Davis, scrum half, followed by Gareth Anscombe.
I think Davis is going to take about his delay as well. They saw the line speed that Ireland bring to games, and actually on a couple of 3 occasions he just delayed, caught him offside.
Josh Adams follows Anscombe up. Adams, a big find for Wales on the wing. If there's a breakthrough player of the championship, it's Josh Adams. And then that man, Hadley Parks, the try scorer and the tackler of Jacob Stockdale. George North, hopefully the injury not too significant, and they won't keep him out of the game for too long.
Well, Parks defensively, don't talk about his attacking skill, but defensively, that is what's going to win you. That is what's going to win you the World Cup, or get close to winning the World Cup, is those defensive linemen. Who leads it? He does, and he did today.
Liam Williams wearing 15 goes through. Williams, well, it was remarkable that he got back on the field after the injury against Scotland last week, and then the turn of the substitutes, Elliot Day and then Nicky Smith. Elliot T, 16, Nicky Smith 17 up to receive their medals, and rightly. Well, you look around the stadium, and in fairness to the Irish team underneath the stand on the far side and the Irish supporters, they've stayed to recognise the achievement. There is the Irish team, as up comes Jake Ball, and then Aaron Rainwright and Alan Davis. Dan Bigger, big roar for him.
But this is what it's going to take. Bigger coming on, Bigger starting. You know Anscombe now can survive in the rarefied air of the pressure game, and it's going to take 23 to win a World Cup. It's going to take 30 odd in that squad. What is it, 30, 32? You're going to try as many players, as many combinations. But this combination that Wales have put out today has been, well, just brilliant. Foxy, good lad.
Jonathan Davis will pick up.
Wait for this, sorry, Ryle. Wait for this, Ryle.
He'll pick up the Triple Crown trophy, Jonathan Davis, and now Alan Wynne-Jones is announced to the crowd.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Grand Slam champions for 2019 are Wales.